Welcome to the Summary of Learning for EC&I 831, Social Media and Open Education. Friends, colleagues, and members of my personal learning network, my name is Kyla, and this is my learning journey in EC&I 831. For me, the learning and sharing starts right away in class with the introduction of the four biggest tools. First, and most important to my learning, is the ability to connect to the class via Zoom. Synchronous online sessions are so convenient for me, as my schedule would not have accommodated me driving to Regina for class this semester. Slack is the online workspace where we went to connect outside of class. Here's where we could ask questions, share resources, and get the links to the recordings of our Zoom sessions. WordPress is the site I use for my blog. Blogging is my favorite part of the class, as writing about the topics we're studying is how I learn most effectively. And Twitter. Having been a really reluctant Twitter user before this class, I can honestly say that I've come to embrace this tool over the past few months. I've grown my personal learning network, connected to educators across North America, and so many more. But I'll save that for a bit. So our course objectives. Course Objective 1 was to become knowledgeable about social learning tools for teaching, facilitating learning, professional development, and designing educational environments. I'd say learning and applying new tools is definitely the meat of the class. Our instructor shared so many wonderful tools, having us use breakout rooms to discuss and give us time to explore them together, or to share with one another what we have found. I curated many of the tools we used in class into a Wakelet collection that I made public so others can copy it, share it, or reach out and become a contributor. Using technology for facilitating learning is critical in an online environment. Time to try the tools together is important to general learning and understanding. I learn best in a collaborative setting, so being able to connect with teachers and classmates is vital to my success. An example on the first night of class was the 5 hashtags to describe me. We wrote down our 5 hashtags, posted them with a selfie onto Padlet. It was a great way to introduce ourselves. We posted introductory videos on Flipgrid as well. These are 2 of my favorite tools for use in the classroom. Another big part of the course was a focus on our professional development. We did this in a variety of ways. In addition to coursework, we had guest speakers, some planned and some spur of the moment. We also tackled a major learning project. Did you know we can also learn from our students or our own children? When we split into breakout rooms to investigate and explore popular social media apps that teens use, we felt a bit out of our element. My group was exploring TikTok, and not one of us knew about it. Enter my 13-year-old daughter, Karis, to save the day. She answered our questions and schooled us in what was trending on TikTok. Several other groups had teenagers join them as well. Minu Rami joined our class to talk about Minecraft education with Microsoft. She and our classmate Dean really got my wheels turning thinking of ways to use Minecraft in the ELA classroom. Dr. Verena Roberts also joined us to talk about open educational practice. Her brief time with us really got me thinking about open education and why I struggle with sharing my resources. In short, atelophobia, fear of imperfection. We discussed this topic briefly during one of our breakout room sessions. I've always been grateful when colleagues share with me. So why was I so scared of sharing with them? No more fear. In the spirit of sharing and open education, I made all of the resources I curated for my learning project public, and I'm more open to sharing with my colleagues near and far, which leads me to our next course objective. To gain a better understanding of how to appropriately and intentionally integrate social media and open educational practices into teaching and learning environments, to be able to select and critique content and appropriate technology. Using social media in the classroom can be a great way to communicate with and get feedback from students, search for resources, connect to people or experts around the world, involve families and other members of the community, and to expand students' personal learning networks outside of the class and get them thinking critically about their place in the world and the responsibilities that come with global citizenship. In an effort for me to be a more open educator, I went back and made public the Pre-AP ELA 20 blended class I developed last semester in EC&I 834. Check it out if you need some ideas for To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm using tools from our course to update the 2 online courses I currently teach for Cyberstone. Using tools such as Anchor FM, which is designed for podcasting, but also works really well for recording audio for articles, poems, and stories in my classes. Course objective number 3 is to learn about and reflect upon the process of learning online, particularly with respect to the process of becoming a self-directed lifelong learner. This is where our major learning project comes in, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to explore a topic of my choosing, which is truth and reconciliation. I'll be posting my reflections about my learning project within the week. Objective number 4, to become familiar with the wealth of open educational resources, MOOCs, learning-related content, and media available for teaching and learning. We got to explore quite a few of these in class within our breakout rooms, but I also enrolled in a MOOC as part of my learning project and have a few more lined up as a way to further my learning about First Nations in Canada. I used an open educational resource from the U of Alberta, housed on Coursera, called Indigenous Worldview. Free. Course objective number 5 is to better understand the many social, ethical, political, cultural, and administrative issues often associated with technology and social media in education and society. This is really where the 9 themes of digital citizenship come in. Thankfully, there are a wide variety of lessons and learnings available to help educate ourselves and our students about the do's and don'ts surrounding the responsible and safe use of technology and social media in education. One of the sites I use within my classroom is Common Sense Education, which has a variety of lessons and resources geared to different age groups. Great for busy teachers. Course objective number 6 is to become critical consumers and producers of digital media and information. This really goes hand in hand with digital citizenship. Just like our students, in order to be critical consumers and producers of digital media and information, we need to do the following. First, we need to be good digital citizens. We need to practice and promote tech literacy, and use the tools to help enrich our learning. And finally, we need to become efficient at locating information, evaluating it for credibility, and using the information we obtain to explain, persuade, and create in new ways. One of my favorite resource sites for helping students learn all of these valuable digital literacies is Media Smarts. The ready-made lessons and resources on the site help with teaching our students how to be critical consumers and producers of digital media. A particular favorite lesson surrounding fake news and features a very favorite thing, the North American house hippo. Check out the link to see the new house hippo ad on YouTube. Course objective number 7 is to build sustainable personal learning environments and networks. Twitter for the win. Without a doubt, Twitter has provided me a method of communicating and networking with like-minded individuals all over the world this semester. From tips and resources to humor and sometimes tears, I'm thoroughly enjoying my interactions with my tweeps. I use TweetDeck to sort and compile the tweets of the hashtags I use most. I've had Twitter since 2012, but until this past semester, having used it very infrequently. Now, I schedule time in my day to check what's happening and often search for resources or ideas using hashtags. Over 32% of my Twitter activity has been in the past 3 months during this grad class. This class has given me so many takeaways. The opportunity to explore and develop technology integration practices in my learning and teaching, using social media for personal and professional practice, and to implement materials that support digital literacies, identities, and citizenship. The flexibility to choose a learning project and develop goals was very rewarding as well. I'm very thankful for all the opportunities that EC&I 831 has provided me and want to send a huge shout out to my colleagues in this class. The connections and positivity in this class have been top-notch, and I look forward to continuing our collaborations on Twitter. Thank you for being part of my learning journey. Thanks for watching. Cheerio!